This is Jessica with Chapter Chicks, and I am here to do this week's In My Mailbox. I have got a lot of books this week, so I'm just going to get started and dive right into it. The first book I got for review is, this is the book I'm currently reading. That's why there's this cool little bookmark in it. His name is Humphrey, and I got him at Borders. He's my little bookkeeping penguin, and you kind of wrap him around, and he keeps your spot for you. But this book is really good so far. It is kind of a book about growing up in a religious community and the doubts and fears that would ensue, of course. And it's really good. I wasn't sure how I would feel about it, but I'm really glad I read it, and I'm really glad I picked it up. So it should be out by now, I think, so you should definitely check it out. The next book I got is That Day in September by Artie Van Wy. And what this book is about is Van Wy's personal experience on September 11th. He was in the building across the street, I guess, and all this crazy stuff happened, obviously, and it sounds like it's going to be really heartbreaking and something that everyone needs to read. The next book I got is Torn, and this is by Erica O'Rourke. And I actually won this off of the Reading Vacation, so thank you so much for sending this to me. She's so awesome. I love that blog. It's so cute, and this book looks really good. What this book is kind of about is there's these two best friends, and one of the best friends has to watch the other one get murdered. So to kind of discover why everything happened, she has to put her trust into these two different guys that live in these two different worlds. One of them's magical. It just looks really good, and the cover is completely awesome. And I know that's a totally sucky synopsis of what this book is about, but I'm not really 100% sure, so I don't want to say anything that's wrong. But just go check this book out for yourself because it looks really good, and I cannot wait to read it. Everything else is something that I've bought this week. So, yeah. Well, one of them was a present. Actually, a couple of them are a present. Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children. I have actually already read this book and loved it. I reviewed it on the blog and gave it an A, I think. Gizmo, what are you doing? Do you want to be in the video? Look. Where's that? Look over there. Look over here. Where's that? Where's that? Do you hear that? Alright. What this book is about is there is this young boy. His grandfather has always told him stories about how his grandfather fought these evil monsters and, you know, pretty much the stories that all of our fathers and grandfathers tell us about them being a hero, and we all grow out of them eventually and recognize them as fairy tales. But in Jacob's case, he doesn't know if they are fairy tales or not because the ghosts of his father's stories kind of come to haunt him. So he goes to this island to try to figure out whether or not it's true or false. The cool thing about this book is, though, that first of all, the cover is gorgeous, and then this is gorgeous too. It's the cloth. It's not, you can tell no expense was cut at making this book. Will you quit trying to eat things? It has pictures in it that go along with the story, and all of these pictures are pictures that are supposedly real. Like, the author Ransom Riggs went through and found all these pictures and then basically wrote a story around them, and they're all throughout the story. And they all help tell something about it. I don't know if you guys could have seen that idea. And then it has this colored thing down here, and I love that, around the page number. And even the chapters have their own colored page. So this book was just made really well, and that's one of the things that I really loved about it, just because it's so awesome. All these pictures are so creepy, and they all go in with the story really well. It doesn't feel like anything is being forced, and I love that. But yeah, so definitely check this book out. It is really good. And so far, everything I've heard on other people's opinions, that they've also thought it was really good. So, yeah. The next book I got was Fearscape by Simon Holt. And this is the third book in the Devouring series. So I'm not going to say anything about what this is about. But the first book is called The Devouring. And it is about the Vowers that come and eat your soul on Sorry Night. So, it's pretty cool. I read the first one and I really liked it. I have the second one, but I haven't got a chance to read it yet, and the third one finally came out in paperback, so I bought it. The next book I bought was The Grimm Legacy, and this is by Polly Schulman. I think that's how you say that. But I have been looking for this book for a really long time. I thought it would be in the YA section, but it was actually in the children's literature. And what this book is about is this girl works at a museum, and she goes down into the basement for some reason and discovers all of the Grimm fairy tale things, like Snow White's Magic Mirror and all of the stuff that's from actual, like, the first fairy tales by the Grimm brothers. And suddenly they start to go missing, so she has got to find them. And I have been wanting this book for a really long time. The one I wanted actually had a different cover, but this one's really pretty too. It's got this little tree on it and stuff, as you guys can see. But it looks really cute, and I cannot wait to read it. The next book I got is Siren by Trisha Rayburn. What this book is about, first of all, I love the cover of it. It's so pretty. And then what this book is about is there's this girl whose sister dies after visiting this town with the ocean and stuff by it. And she goes there trying to figure out what actually happened because she doesn't think that her sister would have just drowned. And she found out that her sister's been keeping some secrets. So she goes down there trying to kind of figure out what's going on. And she finds out that there have been a history of drownings, all men. And they all were found grinning, like the dopiest grin on their face after they had drowned. And so she kind of thinks there's a little bit of mystery behind that, so she's trying to figure it out, and things go a little wacky from there, and that's kind of what the story's about. It looks really good. I actually kind of have an idea of what is probably going on just from other books, but a book about what I think it's going to be about sounds really good, so I cannot wait to read this. The last book I bought is Bad Beginning by Lemony Snicket. These books are really cute. It's the first book in the series of Unfortunate Events, and they're really little, like there's not many words on the page, and it's kind of just like cute little children's stories. But I really liked the movie, and I really liked the video game of this, and my boyfriend really liked the books when he was little, so I kind of bought them just so I can check them out. I figured it'd be a really easy book for my book challenge to kind of get caught up because I'm so far behind. But yeah, so I bought the first one of it, and it was $12, and it's cheaper than a hardback, but I don't feel like there's enough book for it to be that expensive. There is a whole series on Amazon, but I didn't want to buy that. Okay, so that is everything that I have bought from Borders before it closed, and everything that I got before Borders. I found out Borders was closing. The rest of the stuff that I got is from the Borders closing sales. It's so ridiculous. I don't know where I'm going to buy books now. Me and Stacy had like a 3-hour complaining fest after we went on our last trip to Borders because it says up to 40% off, but for some reason we thought everything was 40% off. And we got down there and young adult was only 10% off, and it's like after all the money that we've spent in Borders, they're starting us off, kind of gypping us off on their closing. And it's like there's nothing special for rewards members, so anybody can just go and get these deals, and it's ridiculous. We don't know what we're going to do without our Borders. The world is a crazy place right now because Borders was the second largest book chain in America, and it's closed. And that's ridiculous, and it's all because of stupid e-readers. I hate e-readers now. Before I was like, to each their own. But no, it's all because of e-readers and Amazon, and I'm very upset because one day, in 20 years, books aren't going to exist anymore, I feel like. And when that happens, I'm going to lose all faith in humanity. But aside from my rant on Borders, I did get a couple good deals because the romance novels were on sale, 30% off. So I got those. I got all 4 books in Sherilyn Kenyon's Dream Hunter series. And this is not the actual beginning of the series. It starts off as Dark Hunter novels, but this is like a sequel series. So I accidentally made the mistake before I started reviewing books of reading this first because I thought it was the first one. It's Dream Hunter first, Upon the Midnight Clear, Dream Chaser, and Dream Warrior. And these are all by Sherilyn Kenyon. And they're pretty good. I only read Dream Hunter, and it was it's a Harlequin romance, so this is not a young adult book. This is for adults only. And I just kind of figured since they were so cheap, and it was a series that I had started at one point, but I borrowed it from the library, I figured I would go ahead and buy them since they were only $5 a piece, and I can get the rest of them later because these seem to be really cheap. And then I could have my own little Harlequin romance series. Okay, so the next 3 books I got, I actually stole them from my boyfriend. He had the whole series, but his dog ate them, and that's one of the reasons why I got the first one, The Bad Beginning. But these are the ones that his dog didn't eat, so I have to go in and get the filler ones, but it saves me a little bit of money. I've got book number 2, which is The Reptile Room, and these are all by Lemony Snicket. They're still really cute. So now I have book 1 and book 2 that I can read. This one only has 1 teeth mark in it, so it's not that bad. And then it skips ahead because I guess Juno thought that 3, 4, and 5 were really good, and it skips ahead to book number 6, The Ersatz Elevator. So I gotta go get 3, 4, and 5 before I can read this one, but at least I'll have it and I'll have to pay for it or wait to get it. And then I have book number 7, The Vile Village. I just remembered that I didn't say anything about what these books are about, and what they're about is there's these orphans, the Baudelaire orphans, and their parents died, and they were left with their uncle who is only after them for their fortune. So he's a really bad guy and puts them through all kinds of evil situations, and they keep trying to escape him, but he's an actor, so every time they get placed in a new home, he comes in a different costume and kind of ruins things, and it's really cute. I really like the way that they're written. I read the first one before, but I'm going to read it again because I don't really remember it. Okay, so the next 2 books that I got, they were not a part of the Borders liquidation sale, but they were on clearance at Borders because they have pen marks on them, but I got them for $3 a piece, so that was awesome. And it is the second Buffy the Vampire Slayer Volume 2 bind-up, which contains Halloween Rain, Bad Bargain, and After Image. Gizmo, please stop! Please excuse the squeaky toy. My dog is going crazy on it. But it has that little tiny permanent marker mark, and I saved like $7 on it. So I was more than happy to get them. But here is the second bind-up. And then I also got the third bind-up, which contains Carnival of Souls, One Thing, or Your Mother in Blooded. And this also just has a little tiny permanent marker mark on it. And it was $3. So I kind of got to save those. Or save $7 on this one too. And those Buffy books are based off of the TV show, which I loved. I still haven't watched the last season, so don't spoil it for me. I'm kind of saving it for a rainy day. But yeah, I love Buffy, so I'm hoping the books are going to be just as good as the shows. I've heard that they were, and I've heard that they weren't, so I'm looking forward to finding out for myself. And then the last thing that I wanted to show is something that my boyfriend bought me. He heard that I wanted them and decided to be nice and get me them. He got me this first and the second one, but I only have the first one right now. And it is Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, the Ultimate Edition. And it has all this cool stuff in it. First of all, it goes off in this like little slidey cover. And it's so pretty, and Harry Potter is such a big part of my life that I'm so happy to have this. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. But I'm so happy to have one of the Ultimate Editions because Harry Potter was a huge part of my life. But it has all these DVDs with it. This one is the actual movie, and this is on Blu-ray. Then I have Creating the World of Harry Potter Part 1. And each Ultimate Edition has a different part that you can get. And then the Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone special features. Gizmo, can you please stop? And then it comes with these 2 cool little things in this little package. It has a copy for your computer if you want to watch it on your computer, put it on your iTunes. And then it has these 2 little collector's cards, and it has the Harry Potter card for the Ultimate Edition, and then it has Minerva McGonagall, and I think she was the perfect Minerva McGonagall, by the way. Me and Stacey were talking about that the other day, but and then you just go through and you collect all of these when you get all of the Ultimate Editions. So that is what I'm hoping to do soon. If you want to buy me book or Ultimate Edition number 3, I will not be upset. And then it comes with this little book that just has like pictures from the stuff. It has little drawings of like what everything was supposed to look like. I'm trying to find one. For like all the pictures of like the common rooms and just little things that just help you remember the series. There's Honeydukes, I think. Yeah, Honeydukes and pictures of that. I'm trying to find one of the pictures. Like right here, I don't know if you guys can tell that it's a drawing because it's a really good drawing, but it is, what is it called? Concept painting. That is a concept painting of the Ministry of Magic that was before they shot it and what they wanted everything to look like, and the concept sketch of the Shell Cottage. So this was so cool. I love my boyfriend for indulging me in Harry Potter goodness. Okay, but that is all I got in my mailbox this week. What did you guys get in yours?